Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. First and foremost, before I jump into the breaking story that we have today, I just want to say massive thanks to everyone that's recently subscribed. It's been a bit of a mad one recently. And for me, it's this channel is all about a community, like how we can build this community where we can learn from one another, we can console in one another, knowing we're Spurs fans, we're going to have to console at some point. But in reality, it's building a really healthy community that we can really turn to really just learn from one another and have a good conversation with one another without it being a toxic place. I think when you look at places like Twitter, occasionally it can be that. So this is what I don't want it to be. And it's quite nice that we're building a nice base community-wise that, you know, people do kind of say, oh, we've been linked to so-and-so, by the way, you might want to check them out. And it's nice that, you know, sometimes I do miss things and it's nice when people kind of say, oh, by the way, there's this coming out, you know. So just want to say thanks for all that, and obviously welcome to the new people that have subscribed. It's been a bit of a mad one, and like I said, and I'm happy to keep doing these videos. I feel like I'm positively impacting all of you that are subscribing. But anyway, into more of a somber story. Harry Kane potential departure to Bayern Munich. So this came out today, kind of from David Ornstein, to say that they had a 70 million euro bid rejected. Graham Bailey in 90-Minute Football and Michael Bridge for Sky Sports News have actually said that there is no bid that's been placed down, okay? You've got people like Mark Ogden, who's quite in the know of sort of Man United stratosphere, saying that Harry Kane's been told that he will not be sold under any circumstances. You've got Ben Jacobs for CBS saying that he won't be leaving for anything under 100 million, and they've rejected the 70 million euro offer. You've got Florian Plettenberg, who's really big in the sort of the Bayern Munich stratosphere, saying the offer was actually less than 70 million euros. It's obviously been rejected, but as Kane's made it clear that he wants to join Bayern. But what I want to go through more so is that, Sami Mukbel has also said that they're confident that Kane would go to Bayern Munich, but Spurs will remain adamant that he's not for sale and reject all offers. So just before I came and did this video, I had a little bit of a dig and research. I wanted to find anything that Christian Falk has said, who's very big in German football. He's actually said that Kane's representatives, being his brother and his dad, have actually agreed a contract with Bayern Munich, okay? So yeah, of course, you're going to hit panic stations. You're going to get worried. You're going to be really, really hyperventilating, probably, some of you. 70 million euros. Forget it, the 70 million part. Actually, it's euros. It's already off to a lower start. Spurs are going to want at least 100 million, right? We're at 70 million euros. It's about 62 million pounds, something like that. It's somewhere in that realm. Don't worry yet. They're about 40 million pounds away from it being a credible offer. Okay, so don't panic right a second. Kane having a contract agreed is not a big deal. Okay, if you're 40 million pounds off, it's a lot of money. And Spurs are going to make it so difficult and so not worth their time that Spurs are going to say, you can have him for 100 million, but we want 100 million up front, no installments, no add-ons. And Bayern Munich will go, well, we don't want to do that because that's not financially responsible nor doable. It's kind of the issue that we're going to try and outprice Bayern Munich. I mean, I think that was Sami Mukbel said that Kane thinks he can play to about 40, so he could leave and come back to regain the all-time Premier League goal-scoring record. Well, he wants to play in the NFL, and I, being an NFL fan, really I know Adam Vinatieri, he was a kicker. He played into his mid-40s, but he was one of the best kickers. Kane's unproven, untested, all these things. Doesn't really, you know. So if he wants to do it, it's not the way to go about doing it. You're not going to be playing there when you're in your 40s. Secondly, I think the all-time top goal scorer record would be fantastic, right? But when you've played this many years under one club, if you were to leave, Spurs are going to have to replace him, right? They're going to have to. We're going to have to go out and spend some good money to replace him. So let's play a hypothetical and he's going to leave. Well, if he's having this attitude of, well, I'll come back in 2 or 3 years and I'll get the record. If he doesn't, you know, if he doesn't do it at Spurs, I don't think the record is something that gets held up as highly. Because if he did it at one club, He's an icon of the Premier League and a club icon. I don't know, if he leaves, comes back to Man United and does it, it just doesn't... I wouldn't hold that title and that record as highly as I probably would have beforehand. I'll still hold it highly, but it just won't mean the same. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I would discredit, not discredit it, but I wouldn't really be caring about the record, to be honest, anymore. Just wouldn't care. I see a lot of people saying, should we cash in, should we not? For me, back your club, back yourself. If you're the owner, back yourself to kind of say, look, we're spending money this summer. We're going to do well next year. He'll sign the contract next year within the year because there's an ambition as a plan. If you don't, then sell him. Simple as that. Okay. Almost says this is something that we probably need an answer to quickly. Kane needs to say something to the club, or the club needs to say something to Kane. Vice versa. You're either going or you're not. Let's not drag this on like we did a few years back where Kane threw toys out of pram and didn't want to play for Spurs. It's not the same situation, but we need an answer quicker than what we had, okay? So that one will be probably dragging on a little bit. You'll be sick of me talking about it as time goes on. But yeah, it's not remotely close to being done. If you're £40 million away, it's a lot of money to try and make up. And Levy's not going to drop his valuation. Simple as that. We all know what he's like with a top player. Moving on really quickly, a couple of little bits and bobs about a couple of departures that are more realistic. Be it Harry Winks and be it Hugo Lloris. So let me start with Hugo, because he's the captain. He deserves to go first. Hugo Lloris is linked to leaving to the Serie A. And I was surprised because I thought it'd be Ligue 1, or I thought it would be Saudi Arabia. But it turns out that Inter Milan are someone that are interested in him, because I think what it looks like is Onana might be leaving and Man United might be that team that go for him. Well, if that's the case, they need a new keeper. Lloris might be that guy. And he'd probably play a couple more years in Italy and do all right, to be fair. Again, it's that thing that we know that they might be earning a few quid for Onana. We'd say, well, we want a few quid. Not the money that they get. They're going to get about 50 million, I reckon, for Onana. But we might get, 5-6 million out of it. Good money for us, I'm happy to help there, if you know what I mean. On Harry Winks' front, that Harry Winks is linked to Leicester, and it's a separate thing from the Maddison deal, and that's to do with financial fair play. It's about money in, money out. Leicester need to do it like that. Again, I think he'd do really well, like Lloris. I think he'd do really well at Leicester. I think being in the Championship, he would absolutely tear that up, in my opinion. Leicester would be smart to go for him. That's not being a biased person. Possession-based midfielder, really good. He can be really good on the ball, especially in a Championship situation. And I don't think Leicester will have to spend too much money on him. I think we'd probably try and sweeten the pot Maddison-wise, kind of say, look, 50 million, let's get it done. Jordan Winks for about 6-7 million. I think we'd probably get a bit more, but 5, 6, 7 million somewhere in there, I think they'd probably do it. And these are two deals, hopefully we get done quickly to allow that Maddison deal to speed up, because we want to get him in for the first week of training, hopefully. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. It can be a bit of a weird one, but we'll see what happens with Kane. Thanks for all the support. Like I said again, just to reiterate that, drop a like on the comment, drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it to a degree, or found it, interesting maybe. Comment what you think about the Kane situation. Do you expect him still to leave? What do you think the value would get from him if he did? Obviously, subscribe if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.